Quick challenge. For the next 10 seconds, do not think about a white bear. Go. Yeah, white bear. Immediately. The harder you tried to push it away, the louder it got. And this isn't a failure of willpower. It's actually one of the most reliable phenomena in psychology. It's called the ironic process theory, and it was discovered by Harvard psychologist Daniel Wegner. Here's what's happening inside your brain. When you try to suppress a thought, two processes run at the same time. The first actively searches for distracting thoughts to replace it. The second, the kind of background monitor, keeps checking. Is the thought gone yet? Is it gone yet? And every time that monitor checks, it has to briefly activate the very thought it's trying to eliminate. So the suppression itself brings the thought back, over and over. This is why dieters can't stop thinking about food. Why anxious people keep catastrophizing. Why after a breakup, thoughts of that person show up constantly, even when you're desperately trying to move on. Suppression doesn't work, and it gets even worse when you're tired or stressed, because that's when the monitoring process runs hardest. So what actually works? The most effective technique is called diffusion from acceptance and commitment therapy. Instead of fighting the thought, you observe it from a distance. Instead of saying, I am anxious, you say, I notice I'm having the thought that I'm anxious. That tiny shift in language creates space between you and the thought. You become the person watching it, not the person trapped inside it. Another surprisingly effective method is scheduled worry time. You set aside 15 minutes a day to intentionally think your anxious thoughts. Outside that window, when an intrusive thought shows up, you acknowledge it. I see you. We'll deal with you at 6 p.m. and redirect your attention. Over time, your brain learns to contain the anxiety instead of letting it bleed into everything. Here's the bigger point though. Having negative thoughts doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Your brain generates thousands of thoughts a day. Some of them are going to be dark or anxious or weird. That's just how brains work. You are not your thoughts. You're the one noticing them. And that distance, however small, is where everything changes.